The red notification bubble on my cracked iPhone lit up while my family laughed at dinner, and I stayed quiet because the comment under that video had my sister's name in it. I sat in my car with my hands locked on the steering wheel, still in uniform, staring through the windshield like if I didn't blink, the truth might unhappen. My name is Serafina Calla. I'm 28, and I serve in the United States Air Force. That sentence used to make my chest feel proud. Now it mostly makes my stomach tighten because I can already hear my father's voice sanding it down into something smaller. Support. Paperwork, not the real military. The email came in on a Tuesday afternoon, right when the fluorescent lights in my office were humming and the air smelled like burnt coffee and printer toner. The subject line looked like every other base-wide message, so I almost deleted it without thinking. Quarterly Awards Ceremony. Official notification. I opened it, skimmed the first paragraph, then had to scroll back up because my brain didn't accept what my eyes were reading. My supervisor had submitted my package. It didn't stall. It didn't vanish. It went all the way up and it came back approved. I was being recognized with an Air Force Achievement Medal at the commander's call in front of the whole wing. Families invited. Recording posted afterward. Same routine as always, just another file for public affairs to upload. I didn't jump up. I didn't clap. I didn't even smile right away. I just sat there, breathing slowly, feeling something steady and heavy settle in my chest. Not loud pride. More like a quiet confirmation that the work I'd been doing when no one was watching had been seen by the people who understood what it cost. I stared at the screen long enough for the letters to blur. Then I reached for my phone, and my thumb hovered over the family group chat like it was a hot stove. I hadn't invited them to anything in years, not because I didn't want them near me, because I didn't want to hand them another chance to make me feel small in a room I couldn't leave. But this mattered, and somewhere inside me, the version of me that used to chase approval like it was oxygen still wanted them to see me standing there, in dress blues, being called by name. I typed carefully. Next Friday, I'm being recognized at a formal Air Force awards ceremony on base. Families are invited. I'd really like you to come. I read it twice. No begging, no explaining, just the truth laid out flat. The typing bubbles popped up immediately. My sister Arden replied first. Isn't that like internal admin stuff? She added a laughing emoji in my head, even though I could see she didn't actually send one, because Arden didn't need emojis to make something feel like a joke. We already have dinner plans. Don't be dramatic. Then my father, Dawson, finally wrote something. Awards for what? You're not even an officer. Sounds like a participation thing. My mother didn't type a word. She reacted to Arden's message with a thumbs up. That tiny icon hit harder than the words. I could have explained what I do. I could have explained that the support jobs are the reason the mission doesn't fall apart. That I was the person commanders call when timelines break, when info gets tangled, when a simple mistake can turn into a mess that costs real people real consequences. But explaining to my family always felt like pleading for permission to be proud. So I wrote one sentence. Okay, I understand. Arden replied, great, see you next month when you visit. Like my life was a calendar, they could rearrange whenever it was convenient. I set my phone face down on my desk and stared at the wood grain until my eyes stopped stinging. Growing up, my family didn't fight loud. We didn't slam doors. We didn't scream the cruelest things. We did something worse. We laughed softly. We minimized. We nodded, then changed the subject. We made disappointment feel like a normal temperature in the room. I learned my place early. Arden was 3 years older and built for attention. She walked into a room like it belonged to her. Teachers adored her. Coaches praised her. My parents treated her like the main plot. I was the reliable one, the kid who didn't need reminders, the one who handled things. They used the word low maintenance like it was a compliment. I translated it in my head, even at 12. You don't require us. The first time I won something big, it was a state-level academic competition. I remember the smell of floor polish and popcorn in the school gym. I remember the way the paper felt in my hands, crisp and important. My name printed correctly like that meant I existed in the right font. I carried it home like it was fragile. My father glanced at it and said, "Good job," without lifting his eyes from whatever he was doing. My mother asked if I wanted a snack. Arden asked if she could borrow the car later. That night, I watched my father slide my certificate into the junk drawer in the hallway. The one with loose batteries, old warranties, instruction manuals for appliances we didn't own anymore. The drawer you close without thinking. I didn't cry. I didn't complain. I just memorized the sound it made when it shut. That sound followed me into adulthood. When I told them I wanted to join the Air Force, my father called it a stopgap. My mother worried it was dangerous. Arden smirked and said I probably picked camouflage because I was already good at disappearing. I joined anyway. Basic training stripped me down and rebuilt me with rules that made sense. Clear standards, clear consequences, no guessing what people meant behind their smiles. I found a job that fit me. Coordination, information flow, fixing problems before they became disasters. It wasn't glamorous, it was essential. The kind of work that looks invisible until it's gone. My supervisor noticed, then her supervisor, then the commander. And somehow, that little package with my name on it climbed a ladder my family never believed I deserved. The night before the ceremony, I pressed my dress blues in silence. I lined my ribbons with the same precision I use at work, because preparation is how I show respect, even when no one is clapping. I hung the uniform up, stepped back, and caught my reflection in the mirror. Older, straighter, less willing to shrink. My phone stayed quiet all week. No last-minute change of heart. No, we might swing by. No questions. Just the same silence I'd lived under my whole life. The day of the ceremony came like most important days do. No dramatic music, just routine. 500 alarm, shower, coffee that tasted like burnt pennies, the bass waking up outside my window with that steady hum of engines and distant announcements. At work, my supervisor gave me a simple nod. You earned it. No big speech, no fuss, just respect. By late afternoon, I drove home, changed, checked every detail twice, and sat in my car for 1 extra minute with my hand on the door handle, breathing like I was stepping into something that could either heal me or reopen old wounds. The hall on base looked different dressed up, but the bones were the same. Flags along the wall, stage up front, a screen for names, rows of tables filled with families, spouses smoothing jackets, kids squirming in chairs, parents smiling too wide like they were trying not to mess up pride. I sat with my unit. There was an empty chair beside me that no one mentioned, and somehow that felt kinder than pity. The ceremony moved in a measured rhythm. Opening remarks, recognition for team efforts, then names called one by one. When they said my name, I stood. My shoes hit the floor with a sound that felt too loud in my own ears. I walked to the stage, shook the commander's hand, accepted the medal, and felt the weight of it settle into my palm. Solid, real, not a metaphor. Applause rose, polite and brief, and the public affairs camera lens tracked me like I was a line item being documented. I sat back down, heart steady. It was over in minutes. Afterward, people congratulated me. Someone asked if my family made it. Couldn't, I said. No one pressed. That, more than anything, felt like respect. I left early, slipping out into the cool night air. The parking lot lights made the ribbon catch a thin shine on the passenger seat. In the quiet of my car, I didn't feel triumphant. I felt complete. The next morning, Public Affairs posted the video, like they always do. A short caption, a link, a thumbnail of the stage, nothing viral, nothing dramatic. I didn't share it, I didn't even watch it, I didn't need to. But the internet has its own way of finding the people who avoided you. Around noon, my phone buzzed. A new comment notification. I opened it without thinking. and my stomach dropped so fast it felt like missing a step in the dark. Someone I didn't recognize had written, "Isn't this your sister?" And then they tagged Arden. My hands went cold. Because right then, I realized something Arden hadn't. She didn't just skip my ceremony. She skipped it in public. And the video didn't care about her excuses. It just existed. Quick real-life pause: when I'm editing these late at night, I get tired, and your comments are what keep me going. Hit like, subscribe, and tell me your city, state, or country. All right, now let me take you back. The part that still makes my throat tighten is what I saw right after that comment. Not the tag. Not the view count. The second comment. It was from someone with our last name. And it said, "Arden, didn't you tell everyone you were taking your sister out to celebrate her big Air Force medal?" I stared at the screen until the words stopped looking like letters and started feeling like heat. My pulse stayed slow. That was the strange part. I wasn't panicking. I wasn't even angry yet. I just felt that old, familiar shift inside me, the one that used to happen when I realized my family had already decided what the truth was, and now I was expected to fit inside it. Only this time, the truth had a timestamp. I didn't type. I didn't defend myself in the comments. I didn't jump into the group chat and demand an explanation. I took a screenshot. Then another. I zoomed in on the tag. I captured the username. I captured the exact wording about Arden supposedly taking me out to celebrate. Then I locked my phone and set it down face up on my desk like it was evidence I didn't need to explain. Across the office, people moved through the day like nothing was happening. Printers hummed. Someone laughed softly at a joke in the hallway. My computer screen still showed my usual tasks, the ones that would keep existing whether my family respected me or not. But my phone buzzed again. A message request from Arden. Not a call, not a direct message, a request, like I was a stranger she wasn't sure she had access to anymore. I waited 5 minutes before accepting it, not to be petty, to be careful. Arden loved speed. She loved immediate reactions. She loved chaos because chaos made her feel in control. I wasn't giving her that. As soon as I accepted, the typing bubbles appeared, frantic, like she'd been hovering over her screen with her nails dug into it. "Why are people tagging me under your video?" I read it twice. Not congratulations, not I'm proud, not you looked amazing. Just inconvenience. Then another message. "Did you post that on purpose?" I stared at the words and felt something cool settle over my shoulders, almost like relief. Because there it was, the real accusation. In her world, anything that made her look bad had to be an attack. Nothing could simply be the consequence of her own choices. I replied with one word. No. That was it. No period, no extra explanation. The typing bubbles stopped for a second, then started again like a machine restarting. "Well, people think I was there and I wasn't, so you need to fix that." Fix that. Like I controlled what strangers assumed, like I owed her cleanup, like the entire internet was a mess I'd made in her direction. I didn't answer. I took another screenshot. Then I opened the video link again, not to watch myself, but to look at the comment thread the way I look at any situation that's starting to fracture. Patterns, timelines, pressure points. I saw Arden's friend list show up under the tag. I saw a couple of our relatives. I saw my aunt's name, the one who always liked Arden's photos, the one who called her my parents' miracle baby. I clicked my aunt's profile and noticed she'd already commented. "Proud of you, sweet girl." It was under my name. I didn't know if she meant it for me, or if she thought she was replying to Arden. Either way, my throat tightened. My phone buzzed again. This time, it was a text from my mother. "Why are people saying Arden went with you? She told us you didn't really want anyone there." I sat back in my chair, so slowly my chair barely creaked. There was the first twist, quiet and sharp. Arden didn't just skip my ceremony. She rewrote it. She told them I didn't want family there. She turned my invitation into my rejection, so she could stay the hero even while doing nothing. I typed carefully, keeping my fingers steady. I invited all of you. You declined in the group chat. I didn't add screenshots. I didn't send proof. Not yet. My mother replied almost immediately. Why would you say it like that? Say it like that. As if my tone was the problem, as if the facts were rude. Then my father's name popped up on my screen. Call me. I watched the words for a full minute, imagining his face, the way his mouth tightened when something embarrassed him, the way his voice got clipped, like he could cut discomfort into smaller pieces and swallow it. I didn't call. I texted back. I'm at work, what's wrong? His reply came fast. Your uncle just called. He saw the video. He asked why we weren't there. Arden said you didn't want anyone to come. Now people are talking. There it was again. Not you deserve that. Not we're proud. Just optics. Just reputation. Just the panic of looking like the kind of parents who skip their daughter's ceremony. I stared at my screen and felt the old instinct try to rise up, the one that used to make me scramble to fix things for them, to smooth it over, to protect the family image even when they didn't protect me. I swallowed it. Then I did something I'd never done before. I opened the family group chat. It was all there, my invitation, Arden's dismissal, my father's insult, my mother's thumbs up. A neat little timeline of how they treated me when they thought it would stay inside the walls of our private life. I took screenshots, every screen, every line. I captured the date and time. I captured the way my message looked plain and calm and how their responses looked careless. I saved them in a folder labeled award. Not for revenge, for clarity. Then I went back to Arden's message request and typed one sentence. People are tagging you because your name is in the comments. I didn't write it. Arden responded instantly. Well, tell them I was there. Just say I was sick or something. They can't make me look like a bad sister. I actually laughed, but it was silent, just air leaving my nose because the audacity was so clean. She wanted me to lie for her. She wanted me to erase her choice and replace it with an excuse that made her look caring. She wanted my integrity as a prop. I typed one word again. No. This time I added a period. Arden's next message came in all caps. Why are you doing this to me? I stared at it until my eyes went dry. And I realized the second twist. In Arden's mind, my existence was only acceptable if it didn't disrupt her story. Me being recognized wasn't the problem. Me being recognized where other people could see it was. I didn't reply. I locked my phone, stood up, and walked to the restroom like I was going to wash my hands, like I wasn't holding the weight of my entire childhood in my pocket. Inside the stall, with the fan humming and the smell of cheap soap in the air, I let myself feel it. Not sadness, not exactly. Humiliation, but old, familiar. The kind that had been taught into my bones when I was young and quiet and waiting for a certificate to be hung on the wall instead of buried in a drawer. My chest tightened, and for a moment I wanted to call my supervisor, tell her my family was making noise again, tell her I needed a minute. But I didn't, because I didn't need rescue. I needed a decision. When I went back to my desk, I opened the video again and scrolled through the comments like I was reviewing a case file. My aunt's comment was still there. Proud of you, sweet girl. Then a reply under it appeared from one of Arden's friends. You're proud of Arden. She skipped it. My hands went still on the keyboard. The internet was doing something my family never did. It was correcting the narrative. And it wasn't even my voice doing it. I sat there and let it happen. That was my revenge. Silence. Let the truth move on its own. My phone buzzed again. A call this time, from my father. I didn't answer. Not because I was scared, because I knew what his voice would do. It would pull me into his tempo, his pressure, his version of urgency. Text leaves a record. So I texted him one line. "If you want to know what happened, read the group chat." 3 minutes passed. Then my mother sent a new message. We didn't realize it was a medal. I stared at the word and felt my lips press together. Medal, like that was the missing piece. Like if they'd known it was called that, they would have respected it. Like my worth depended on the right label. I wrote back. "It was still important when you thought it was." My mother didn't reply for a while. Arden did. "Stop acting like a victim. You know Dad was joking." My eyes stung, not from tears, from anger that finally sharpened. Because that was the line we'd always used in my family. He was joking. She didn't mean it. You're too sensitive. A whole lifetime of dismissal, wrapped in one easy excuse. I typed slowly, and my hands didn't shake. He said it sounded like a participation thing. That's not a joke. Arden replied, "Whatever, just delete the video or tell them to take my name out." That one made my stomach drop. Because now she was trying to erase the proof. Not of her absence, of my recognition. And that was the third twist. Arden didn't want to fix the lie. She wanted to remove the reality that made the lie impossible. I didn't respond. Instead, I forwarded the video link to my personal email and archived it. Then I went one step quieter. I searched Arden's public profiles, the ones she kept pristine, the ones where she posted dinners and selfies and inspirational quotes about family. It took less than a minute to find what I expected. A post from the night of my ceremony. Photo of a restaurant table, fancy cocktails, plates arranged like art. Caption, "Family night, needed this." She had posted it while I was walking across that stage. And now the internet had a timeline. I took a screenshot. I didn't comment on it. I didn't like it. I didn't share it. I just saved it beside the group chat screenshots. Then I went back to my work like nothing was happening. Because that was the part they never understood about me. I can be falling apart inside and still meet a deadline. By the time I got off work, there were missed calls. 2 from my father, 1 from my mother, 5 from Arden. I drove to my apartment in silence, the sky dim and heavy, the kind of evening where the world looks bruised. I ate standing at the counter because sitting felt too vulnerable. Then my phone buzzed with a new message in the family group chat, the one Arden rarely used unless she wanted an audience. She wrote, "I'm sorry I couldn't come. Serafina didn't really want people there anyway. She said it was no big deal. She's making this into drama for attention." My throat tightened so hard it felt like swallowing glass. Because she didn't just lie to me. She put the lie in front of them. She wrote it where my father could nod, and my mother could smooth it over, and they could all pretend I was the problem again. I looked at the message, then at the earlier invitation, sitting right above it like a trap she'd walked into without noticing. I didn't reply. I waited. 30 seconds, a minute, 2. My mother reacted to Arden's lie with a heart. My father didn't react at all. Then my father typed, "Why would you tell your sister you didn't want anyone there?" I stared at his words until my vision blurred. Not because he believed her, because he wanted an excuse to. I opened my photo folder. I tapped the screenshot of my invitation in the group chat with the date, the time, the way I'd asked plainly. I tapped Arden's dismissal. I tapped my father's insult. I tapped my mother's thumbs up. My finger hovered over send. And that was the moment I realized what I was really choosing. If I sent it, I wasn't pleading anymore. I was placing the truth on the table and walking away from whatever they did with it. My hand didn't shake. I sent the screenshots into the group chat without a single extra word. No commentary, no accusation, just proof. Then I put my phone face down on the counter and walked into my bedroom, still in silence, because I could already hear Arden's panic through the walls of the screen. I closed my bedroom door gently, like sound itself could be used against me, and I stood there for a few seconds with my back against the wood, listening to the muffled buzz of my phone on the kitchen counter. One vibration, then another, then a longer one that meant someone was calling. I didn't move. Not because I was afraid, because if I picked it up, I'd be pulled into their rhythm again, their volume, their urgency, their way of turning my calm into a problem that needed to be corrected. I sat on the edge of my bed and stared at my hands. They were steady. That surprised me. I'd expected shaking, tears, something dramatic. Instead, I felt a clean, cold line inside me, like a boundary finally drawn with a ruler. My phone kept buzzing out in the other room. Arden, my father, my mother. A rapid rotation of people who only wanted my attention when the truth made them uncomfortable. Finally, it stopped. A minute later, a new sound, the alert for the group chat. I walked out, picked up my phone and looked at it. No one had responded to the screenshots directly. They couldn't, not without admitting what was right in front of them. Instead, my mother had typed one sentence. "Why would you embarrass us like this?" I read it twice, slow. Embarrass us. Not why would Arden lie. Not why would your father insult you. Not why did we ignore your invitation. Just why did you make the evidence visible? My throat tightened, but I didn't let it turn into the old familiar apology. I typed one line. I didn't embarrass anyone. I answered a question with the truth. 3 dots appeared, disappeared, reappeared. Then my father wrote, "Call me now." I took a breath and exhaled slowly through my nose. I typed back, "You can text. I'm not doing this on a call." The response came almost immediately. "You always do this. You make everything into a courtroom." I stared at that sentence and felt the smallest, sharpest laugh in my chest. A courtroom. Because for once I had receipts. Because for once, I wasn't agreeing to forget what happened just to keep the peace. I typed, "I'm not making anything. I asked you to come. You chose dinner." Arden finally stopped hiding in private messages and jumped into the group chat, where she could perform. "You're actually sick, Serafina. You want people to hate me. You're jealous because I have a life." There it was, the old strategy. If she couldn't deny the facts, she'd attack my character. Make my silence look like spite. Make my boundaries look like bitterness. My mother reacted to Arden's message with a sad face. My father didn't react at all. He wrote one sentence, clipped and clean. "Arden, why did you tell people you were there?" The room felt suddenly very quiet, like someone had turned off a fan I didn't realize was running. That was the moment Arden lost control. Because my father wasn't defending her. He wasn't defending me either, but he wasn't defending her. He was doing what he always did when his image was threatened. He was demanding order. Arden replied fast. "I didn't tell anyone anything. People assumed. And Serafina is letting them assume because she loves the attention." My father answered. "You posted dinner photos that night." I stared at my screen, my heart giving one hard thump. Second twist, sharp and unexpected. He had already looked. He had already checked her story. He had already confirmed the timeline. Arden's typing bubbles appeared, then stopped, then appeared again. "So what? I'm not allowed to eat." My father wrote back, "Don't be stupid." It was the first time in my life I'd seen him speak to her like that. Not with cruelty, with irritation. Because she had made him look foolish too. My mother jumped in. "We are not doing this in the group chat." Of course she said that. She wanted everything handled quietly, behind closed doors, where the truth could be reshaped and the hurt could be swallowed. But the door was open now. And I wasn't closing it for them. Arden's next message came slower, like she was choosing each word for maximum impact. "If you cared about family at all, you would have told us it was a medal. You said banquet like it was nothing." I felt heat rise in my chest, but my hands stayed steady. This was the part that always broke me when I was younger. The part where they rewrote the story, so I was responsible for their choices. I typed one sentence. It was important before you knew the right word. The chat went quiet for almost a full minute. Then my father wrote, "Stop, both of you." I stared at that, waiting for the old pattern. Waiting for him to scold me for being difficult, for not smoothing it over, for not being the easy child. Instead, he wrote something I didn't expect. "Serafina invited us. We didn't go. Arden didn't go. Arden told people she did. Now it's public. That's the situation." It was blunt, emotionless, not an apology. But it was the first time he had ever stated the truth without shrinking it. My mother replied, "We didn't know what it meant." My father wrote, "That's on us." I felt my throat tighten, not with relief, but with the strange shock of hearing accountability spoken out loud, even in that dry, reluctant way. Arden tried one more time. "I didn't tell people I went. I just didn't correct them. You could have corrected them too." I stared at that and saw the trap. She wanted me to do the same thing I'd done my whole life. Carry the responsibility, manage the perception, keep the story clean so she could stay comfortable. I replied with a single line. "I'm not lying to make you look better." Arden's response came fast and nasty. "Then don't come home again. Don't act like you have a family." That used to be the sentence that shattered me. The threat of being cut off, like love was a privilege you could lose if you didn't behave. But this time, I felt something else. A calm, clear understanding. Arden didn't want family. She wanted a stage. My father wrote, "Enough." Then he did something that made my stomach drop for a different reason. He sent a screenshot. It was not from the group chat. It was from Arden's social media. A post I hadn't seen. It was from the morning after my ceremony. Arden smiling in a photo with a coffee cup, captioned with a line about being proud of her sister's medal and how family always shows up. Family always shows up. My lungs tightened like the air had changed in the room. Third twist, and it landed hard. She hadn't just lied to cover her absence. She used my recognition as content, as a badge she could wear without earning. My mother typed, "Arden, why would you post that?" Arden didn't respond right away. Then she wrote, "It was just a nice post. People like patriotic stuff. It wasn't a big deal." My father answered, "It's a big deal when it makes us look like liars." There it was again, optics. But this time, optics worked in my favor, because the proof wasn't only in my hands anymore. My father had it too. Arden tried to pivot. "Serafina is doing this because she hates me. She always has. She's been jealous since we were kids." My mother wrote, "That's not true." The sentence was small, but it was there. And it wasn't for Arden. It was for me. I felt my eyes sting, but I didn't let the feeling turn into softness that would erase everything. I typed one message, slow and careful. "I don't hate you. I'm just done covering for you. If you want to be proud of me, be proud quietly and honestly. If you can't, then stop using my life to decorate yours." Arden responded, "You think you're better than us because you got a piece of metal." Piece of metal. The same minimization, just wearing a different outfit. I didn't reply. I went to my settings and muted the group chat notifications. Then I did something even quieter. I opened a new message to my supervisor. I didn't tell her about the family fight. I didn't ask her to fix anything. I didn't make it emotional. I wrote 3 sentences. "Ma'am, just a heads up. The awards ceremony video is getting attention outside the base. Some relatives are tagging each other and bringing personal drama into the comments. I'm not engaging. If public affairs needs me to do anything, please let me know." That was my professional route. Calm, documented, clean. 10 minutes later, my supervisor replied, "Understood. You did nothing wrong. PA can moderate comments if needed. Focus on your job and your peace." Peace. I sat there with that word for a while. My phone stayed quiet for the rest of the night. No more calls, no more demands. Just silence. The next morning, I woke up to a single text from my mother. "I'm sorry." It was 2 words, and they looked strange on my screen, like a language she'd never used before. Then another text came. "Your father told your uncle the truth. He said we should have been there. He said you earned it." I stared at the message until my eyes felt hot. Because my father didn't apologize the way I wanted. He didn't say he was proud in the soft, emotional way people imagine. But he did the only thing he knew how to do when he was wrong. He corrected the narrative in the place that mattered to him. Outside the house. In front of other people. I didn't reply right away. I went to work. I did my job. I handled the same deadlines, the same coordination, the same pressure that had earned me the medal in the first place. At lunch, my phone buzzed again. A message request from Arden. I stared at it for a long time before opening it. The first line was simple. "Take the screenshots down." I almost laughed again, silent, dry. I typed one sentence. "They were never up. They were sent to the family chat where you lied." Her reply came fast. "People at my work saw the comments. Someone sent the link. They're asking why I posted that I was there." I felt my heartbeat slow down, like my body recognized the shape of consequences. I typed carefully. "I didn't send anything to your work." Arden answered. "Well, someone did, and now I look stupid." There it was. Not "I'm sorry." Not "I shouldn't have used you." Just "I look stupid." I wrote one line. "You chose dinner. You chose the post. I chose silence." Then I blocked her. No dramatic goodbye. No long paragraph, just removal. That evening, my mother called. Her voice was quiet. "Your father wants to talk," she said. I considered it. Then I said, "Okay, put him on." There was a pause, then my father's voice. "Serafina." He never used my full name when he was uncomfortable. It made the moment feel formal, like he was trying to control it. I waited. He cleared his throat. "I didn't understand what you did," he said. "I didn't make it important. That was wrong." It wasn't warm, it wasn't pretty, it didn't come with tears. But it was a sentence I never thought I'd hear. I swallowed. "Thank you," I said. He hesitated, then added something that landed deeper than I expected. "Your medal is in the video. It's official. I sent it to my brother, and I told him we should have been there." I closed my eyes for a second. Not because it fixed everything. Because it proved something. The drawer was finally opening. My mother spoke softly in the background. "We want to come next time," she said, "if you want us there." I looked at the medal in my own drawer, safe and quiet, and I realized the final twist wasn't about them changing. It was about me. For the first time, I had the power to say yes or no without begging. I answered honestly. "If you come because you're proud, not because you're embarrassed. If that's not why, then don't." My father didn't argue. He just said, "Fair." After we hung up, I sat alone in my apartment and felt something settle into place. Not forgiveness, not revenge. Peace. Because I finally understood the simplest truth. I never needed to convince them I mattered. I just needed to stop shrinking until they felt comfortable. And the quietest revenge of all was letting the world see me exactly as I am, while refusing to lie so anyone else could look better.